Good morning, dear students. In last class, we studied about clay mineralogy. In the second module, clay mineralogy, it teaches us that soil structures. We had a four type of soil structures: honeycomb soil structure. First one is single grain soil structure, honeycomb soil structure, flocculated and dispersed soil structure. After that, we discussed about basic units in clay minerals. The first one is a gibbsite, and the second one is silica sheet and gibbsite. Okay, tetrahedral and octahedral that we discussed in the last class. In this class, we are going to discuss about types of clay minerals. Types of clay minerals. As you already know that the soil, whatever we are dealing with that, if it is a clay soil, if it is a clay type of soil means which is less than 2 micron, particle size, that is called as a clay size. In last class I already told you that clay particles, when you put in a microscope, it won't be a spherical in shape, it will be a rodded in shape. Okay, this is the shape of the clay mineral when we look in the microscope. Okay, therefore these clay particles are made up of what? These clay particles are made up of what? Obviously, these clay particles are made up of minerals. But all clay particles or all clay behavior is not same. For example, black cotton soil is a clay. Its behavior is different. For example, Chini clay, which is made up by your in India or in Kannada, Pingani we call Pingani, or ceramics. Ceramics are made up of some clays, but this clay behavior is different. Some yellow clay will come, yellow clay. Okay, in UP and Madhya Pradesh side, or somewhere here also in Karnataka, yellow clay will come. Its behavior is something different. Bentonite is there, its behavior is something different. Like that, all clay will not behave in the same manner. Then their behavior is depending on what? Their behavior is depending on their parents. Their parents is what? Their parents are minerals. Therefore, we need to study clay minerals. It will give you the behavior of clay particles. There are three types of minerals: kaolnite, montmorillonite, illite. Once again, kaolnite, montmorillonite and illite. Okay, we'll go one by one. The first one is kaolnite group. Here you can see the kaolnite look like this. This is actually rock, and when this rock weathers, when this mineral weathers, becomes a small particles, then it become a clay, and that clay parent is, or the clay mineral is, that is kaolnite. Okay, and we have one more mineral here, that is halloysite, which I did not tell here in these three minerals. This one is extra. Why? Because this is somewhat similar to kaolnite. Therefore, when I read a kaolnite, then I will understand the behavior of halloysite. And halloysite, it is not much that useful in geotechnical engineering. Kaolnite is, we will deal with often. Therefore, it is very important. Now you can see here, we already in the last class we got this one. This is as a gibbsite, and this is a silica sheet. And these two are bonded. One aluminum sheet and one silica sheet, both together are bonded with some bonds here. Okay, then this is called as 1 unit of kaolnite. The are otherwise one layer of kaolnite, and its layer size will be somewhat 0.72 nanometer, or you can say that 7.2 angstrom. You can call. And every unit of this kaolnite will be again bonded with some other unit of kaolinite. See, here also bond will be there, here also bond will be there, here also bond will be there, right? And these bonds are very strong bonds. These bonds are very strong bonds. Therefore, when you put this into the water, these bonds will not break out. When you put this into the water, these bonds will not break out. When these bonds are not broken, then water will not enter inside and there won't be any swelling. Obviously, when there is no swelling, then there won't be any shrinkage also. Okay, these type of that characters we are observing in minerals called kaolinite. The compound is Si4, Al4, O10 and OH8. This is called as platy shape. It will be platy shape, means it will be like a plate type of shape. Here you can see the layers are there, here layers are there. Therefore, we will call it as a platy shape. The bond between the layers are van der Waals forces and hydrogen bonds, and these two bonds are strong bonds. These two bonds are strong bonds. Therefore, there is no interlayer swelling. There is no interlayer swelling means what? In between two layers, there won't be any percolation of the water. That will not cause any swelling or shrinkage. This is very, very important. Then width is 0.1 to 4 micron and thickness is 0.05 to 2 micron. These are characteristics of kaolinite. And the soil which is made up of kaolinite is, example is China clay. China clay or ceramic. In Kannada or Hindi we call it the pingani. Right? These clays are made up of kaolinite, and these clays are very strong, right? Pingani, see how strong it is. When it is heated, then it becomes very strong material. Then uses are here. In ceramics we use, it is generally main component in porcelain. Porcelain dishes are there. Okay, porcelain dishes are there. They are inert in chemical reactions. Therefore, we will use it in many laboratories, porcelain. And therefore, to manufacture this porcelain materials, we use this kaolinite. In toothpaste, we are observing this kaolinite mineral. Okay, and the properties very important are no swelling. Very important, no swelling. When there is no swelling, we can write no shrinkage also. No shrinkage. Then low compressibility. Low compressibility means it is very strong. Means if I compress it, it will not get compressed. Therefore, low compressibility. Moderate to high shear strength. Very important. The layers are there. The layers and bond between the layers are very strong. Therefore, moderate to high shear strength is there. This is first type of mineral. And the second type of mineral is Montmorillonite. Okay, and this is again made up of those two basic units only, but the arrangement is different. Here you can see one silica sheet and the other silica sheet are there. Okay, in between two silica sheets, aluminum sheet is sandwiched. Okay, this is called as sandwiched. Therefore, one unit of Montmorillonite, if I want to express in words, that when aluminum sheet is sandwiched between two silica sheets, we will get Montmorillonite unit. Okay, like one unit of the Montmorillonite and other unit of Montmorillonite, they will be combined. By some bond here. This bond is a weak bond. Weak bond means here water can penetrate, and that also I can say that this is a water bond. This is water bond only. Means when a lot of water comes in between two layers, then they will come here and they will make it to swell. And when in a summer season, if all water evaporates, then they will make it to shrink. Okay. Therefore, Montmorillonite is such a mineral where swelling and shrinking are predominant. Okay, means more. Okay, in a picture you can see that is a microscopic picture. You can see the Montmorillonite mineral this way. Okay, and here the minerals, that chemical compound is the same like kaolinite. Si8, there Si4 was there, Al4O20 OH4 NH2O. Theoretical substituted. Okay, film like shape, it is film like shape means what? Very thin, very thin film will be there. Okay, therefore this is called as film like shape. NH2O and cation exists between unit layers, means these two layers are there here, this layer and this layer. Here what happens? NH2O will be there and cation exists. Okay, and the size of this one will be 10 angstrom, 10 angstrom or 9.6 angstrom. To infinity, they said infinity means it is not definable. How much it will be bigger, that cannot be explained. Okay, after swelling, because water will enter inside and it will go on swelling. Now the interlayer bonding is by van der Waals forces and by cations which balance charges deficiencies. Therefore this becomes very weak bond. Therefore this becomes very weak bonding. There exists interlayer swelling, important, which is very important to engineering practice. Expansive clay, we will call it as a expansive clay. This is called as expansive. Why? Because it expands, that is called as swelling. Therefore we call it as expansive clay. Uses are, it is also used as a soil additive to hold soil water, drought prone soils, to construct of earthen dams and levees, and to prevent leakage of fluids. The uses are there. Why? Because these particles are very small in size and wides will be somewhat, wide pore size will be very slow. When pore size is very slow, you can use it as a prevent, you can use it as a proof for a leakage, that is a prevent the leakage of fluids, you can use it there. And it is also used as soil water in drought prone areas. Means what? For example, in Rajasthan, their water holding capacity of the soil is reduced. That won't be there because it is a sand. Sand pore size will be more. When rain comes, it will percolate inside and it won't be held in the sand. That in that case, we will mix with this clay and we will stabilize this soil. Okay, with some clay particles. Then when water comes, it will hold that water. Okay, for a longer duration. Next, it is also used as a component of foundry sand. Okay, foundry sand means in the mechanical engineers they use one particular sand for their purpose, for the burning of the iron sand there. Okay, there also you can use. This is a BC soil, black cotton soil. Okay, and very important thing, black cotton soil is, we can call it as a farmer's friend. Black cotton soil is farmer's friend, but engineer's enemy. Engineer's enemy. Why? Because if I build any structure on black cotton soil, I will be facing many dangerous risks. But for farmers, it is very good soil. Why? Because it has a water holding capacity. Okay. High swelling and shrinkage, that I told. Low permeability, as the size is very small and the wide size is also very small, therefore low permeability. High water holding capacity, this we studied. Okay. This is the second type of mineral. And the third type of mineral is illite. This is called as mica also, like mineral. Okay, mica like mineral. Mica, that is again plain like a structure here. This and montmorillonite somewhat both are same and both sizes are same, both units are same. But the difference is between the two units, two layers of the illite, there will be potassium bond in between the two. Potassium bond will be there. In place of potassium bond, if water bond comes, then that becomes montmorillonite. But here we have a potassium bond. And the properties whatever we studied in montmorillonite and the properties whatever we studied in kaolinite, they are extreme. Kaolinite, in no swelling, no shrinkage. Montmorillonite, high swelling, high shrinkage. When you come to illite, this is in between those two. Okay, and its this one chemical compound is Si8 In place of Si, you can write Al, Mg and Fe also. Okay, that is 4 to 6 varies. Then O20, OH4, K, H2O twice. This is flaky shape. Flakes, you know, flakes. Okay. In Kannada, that is called a chip or binichkal ಅಂತಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಹೌದಾ, that is flaky in shape. Okay, all are somewhat same. A sheet, platy, they said platy means plate it is, film means again film it is, flaky means flaky it is. Depending on the thickness they are going to give these names. Some of the Si4 plus in the tetrahedral sheet are replaced by Al3 plus. Tetrahedral sheet you've seen, tetrahedral means something, it will be like this one. Here inside one mineral will be there. That mineral, if it is Al, and this can be replaced by some Si. Okay, like that you can replace them and you can have the mineral they are saying. And some of the Al3 in the octahedral sheet are substituted by Mg2 plus or Fe3 plus. Those are origin of charge deficiencies. When you replacing, see here 4 plus is there, instead of that you are giving 3 plus. 3 plus is there, instead of that you are giving 2 plus, like a 2 plus and 3 plus you are giving. Means here charges are varying, charge deficiency is creating. This deficiency will attract some amount of water or some potassium or some bonds that will attract. The charge deficiency is balanced by the potassium ion in between layers. That deficiency will attract your potassium. The basal spacing is fixed at 10 angstrom in the presence of polar liquids, non-interlayer swelling. Okay, what do you mean by polar liquids? Polar liquids means the water is a polar. Why? Because water has H2 plus O, means H is also there, O is also there. H plus and O minus both are there. Plus and minus both poles are there, therefore this is called as a polar. Okay, he said that the basal spacing means this spacing, okay, at 10 angstrom in the presence of polar liquids, no interlayer swelling. Here a swelling, interlayer swelling will be no, it is said, but we will not say no, less will say, less interlayer swelling it will be there. Okay, the uses are the crystallinity of illite has been used as an indicator of metamorphic grade in clay bearing rocks metamorphosed under conditions between diagnosis and low grade metamorphism. Okay, this is very useful. With increasing temperature, illite is thought undergo a transformation into muscovite. Muscovite is again another mineral. Okay, yeah, when you increase the temperature, this illite will become muscovite, they are saying. Moderate swelling. Okay, here this swelling is very low type of swelling. Okay, not no swelling, but it is a moderate swelling. And in a group you can see, in a summary you can say that silica sheet and gibbsite both are one unit, and again silica sheet and gibbsite, there will be some van der Waals bond or otherwise cation bonds, then this is called as illite. And this is called as kaolnite. And here potassium bond is there, therefore it is illite. And here water bond is there, therefore it is montmorillonite. These three are very important. Thank you. In the next class we will discuss about interaction of water and clay minerals. Thank you very much.